Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Rubina and today I am giving you ninth lecture of biology. And today's my topic is Muslim scientists and their contributions in the field of biology, which is on page number 12. Now open your books. Page number 12. Muslim scientists contributed a lot of knowledge to the science of biology and medicines from 8th to 15th century. Their views were highly respected and taken as authority. Some of the famous Muslim scientists are Jabir bin Hayyan, Abdul Malik Asmai, Abu Ali Sina, Abu Usman Umar al-Jahiz, Al-Farabi, Abdul Qasim Ali Zahrawi, Ibn al-Haytham, Ali bin Isa and Ibn al-Nafis. Now we will discuss one by one. Jabir bin Hayyan. He lived in 721 to 815 AD. He was born in Iran and practiced medicines in Iraq. He introduced experimental chemistry and also wrote a number of books on plants and animals. Among these, Al-Nabatat and Al-Haywan are noteworthy. Al-Nabatat, in which there is very much wide information about plants, and Al-Haywan, in which there is very much information about animals. He was also an astronomer, pharmacist, physician, philosopher, engineer. So astronomer, a person which is having a lot of information about the sun, the moon, the planet and the stars. So we can say that astronomy is the study of everything in the universe beyond Earth's atmosphere. That includes objects we can see with our naked eye like the sun, the moon, the planets and the stars. He was also a pharmacist, a person which is having a lot of information about medicines. Physician is also known as surgeon or doctor. Philosopher, a person who offers views or theories on profound questions in ethics, metaphysics, logic and other related fields. Or we can also say that a person who is deeply versed in philosophy, who establishes the central ideas of some movement, cult, etc. And he was also an engineer. Now next is Abdul Malik Asmai. He lived in 740 to 828 AD. He was born in Basra. He was regarded as a specialist in animal sciences. He wrote many books on animals and plants. One of his book, Al-Khil, is about horses. Al-Ibil is about camels. Ash-Shah is about sheep. Al-Wahush is about wild animals. Khalaqul Insan is about humans, and in this book he had described different parts and functions of human body. Next is Abu Ali Sina. He lived in 980 to 1037 AD. He was born near Bukhara. He was among the greatest Muslim scientists and his most valuable contribution was in the field of medicines. He was an expert in mathematics, astronomy, physics, paleontology, and you know about now paleontology because I have discussed this thing in my previous lectures. That paleontology, it is a branch of biology in which we discuss about the fossils of plants and animals. So if we discuss about the fossils of plants, so it means that we are talking, or we can say that we are studying about paleobotany. And if we are talking about animals, so it means that we are talking about paleozoology. So he worked on the structure, function and diseases of the eye. His book Al-Qanun fil Tibb was translated into many European languages. Abu Usman Umar al-Jahiz. He lived in 776 to 869 AD. He was born in Basra. He wrote the famous book Al-Haywan, in which he described his own observation on animals such as the seasonal migration of fish in river Tigris. Similarly, he described the life system of an ant. He wrote the famous book Al-Haywan. Al-Haywan, it means that in which he described his own observation about animals. So he described his own observation about many animals such as seasonal migration of fish in river Tigris. And similarly he described the life system of an ant. And catfish is the most and famous fish of river Tigris. So members of the carp family are the dominant freshwater fish of the Tigris-Euphrates system. And there are several varieties of catfish as well as spiny eels are found in river Tigris. Next is Al-Farabi. He lived in 870 to 950 AD. This renowned Hakim and biologist lived in 870 to 950 AD in Farab. He wrote two books, Kitabul Nabatat, which is about plants, and Kitabul Haywanat, which is about animals. Next is Abdul Qasim Ali Zahrawi. This great Muslim surgeon was born in 936 AD and died in 1004 AD. He was famous for the removal of stones from urinary bladder. Number 7th is Ibn al-Haytham, 965 to 1039 AD. He lived in 965 to 1039 AD and was one of the most outstanding biologists of Muslim world. Basically, he was an ophthalmologist. He corrected the Greek concept of vision, locating retina of the seat of vision. His famous books are Kitabul Manazir and Mizanul Hikmah were translated into Latin, Hebrew, Greek and other Western languages. So basically he was an ophthalmologist, and ophthalmologist, or we can say that ophthalmology is a branch of medicines and surgery which deals with the diagnosis and treatment of eye disorders, and an ophthalmologist is a specialist in ophthalmology. The credentials include a degree in medicines followed by additional 4 to 5 years of ophthalmology residency training. So he also corrected the Greek concept of vision, locating retina of the seat of vision. His famous books are Kitabul Manazir and Mizanul Hikmah were translated into Latin, Hebrew, Greek and other Western languages. So what was his most famous work? That he corrected the Greek concept. And what was Greek concept of vision? Ancient Greeks believed that the way in which vision works is that a beam goes out of the eye and this an object. What he said? Ancient Greeks believed that the way in which vision works is that a beam goes out of the eye and hits an object, whereas now we know that light reflects off the objects and then gets absorbed by the eye. But Ibn al-Haytham corrected their concepts. Ibn al-Haytham was the first to explain that vision occurs when light reflects from an object and then passes to one's eyes. He was also the first to demonstrate that vision occurs in the brain rather than in the eyes. And it was also disproved by studying the anatomy of the human eye, specifically by understanding painful effects of light on the eye. Such as looking at a bright object and noticing that it leaves an after image burnt into the eyes that one can still see when looking at a darker place. So Ibn al-Haytham corrected the Greek concepts of vision. Now Ali bin Isa, he lived in 940 to 1010 AD. He was a well-known eye specialist. He worked on the structure, function and diseases of the eye. He described 130 diseases of the eye in his book. This book was translated into many European languages. Now Ibn al-Nafis, he lived in 1213 to 1288 AD. He was a well-known biologist of 13th century AD. He described the circulation of blood in human body. Ibn al-Nafis, he was famous for the circulation of blood in human body. Blood circulation in human beings was first described by a Muslim anatomist, Ibn al-Nafis. He studied medicine at Al-Nuri Al-Kabir Hospital in Damascus. Later, he moved to Cairo. where he took up medicines as a career. He was the first to explain the pulmonary blood circulation. He discovered the central role of the heart in the whole circulatory system. Furthermore, Ibn al-Nafis explained that blood was purified in the lungs. So, it's our today's topic, and inshallah we will meet in our next video. Take care. Allah Hafiz. Stay home, stay safe.